What is up, people? How are we doing? Got a little intro music there to get us started. Anyway, how are we doing, everybody, tonight? I am alive. Got a throat thing still going on, but otherwise, not too bad. I'm making it. A little tired, but anyway, who we got with us tonight? Who's here? I'm going to start off with something a little lighter than whiskey. Got some Kentucky Barrel Stout, coffee barrel stout. I'll put my bartender skills to work here. Get a little bit of this poured. All right. Who we got in chat? So we got 4 people watching. Thank you for joining us, whoever you may be. Welcome to the show. As the title says, I am just getting over the Rona. It was a long week. I'll throw a little whiskey in here. I don't normally mix whiskey, but I like a good stout with not wasting some real good stuff here, but just a little Ezra Brooks with my stout. Anyway, it was a long week. Finally feeling mostly better. Got a throat thing still and feel tired, but all in all, not too bad. So, whoever is with us, thank you for joining. Appreciate it. First up of the night. Mr. Great Shot. How we doing, buddy? Thanks for joining again. Yeah, I tell you, the Corona thing was not as bad as I thought it might be, but still not great. It's like a really bad cold for anyone that hasn't had it. Of course, I guess that all really depends on your level of health and whatnot, but either way, like the worst body pains I've ever had and lots of phlegm and junk. So, yeah, good times. Anyway, we're going to try and get back to normal schedule and do our thing tonight. But what's everybody drinking? How was your week? How are things in the new year? What did you guys think of the latest video today? Also, put out the Bourbons of the Year video today. Hope you guys got to see that. So, yeah. To answer your question, Matrix, no, I was not vaxxed. Don't plan to be now, obviously. But, you know, my sister and my brother-in-law both got it, and their symptoms, they were both vaccinated. And they both got it, and their symptoms were nearly the same as mine. So, and my sister's 3 years younger than me. So, I don't know. You know, I'm sure that it's helping some people, but it's whatever. I'm not going to get into the politics, all that crap. Whatever. If you're vaccinated, good for you. If you're not, you know, best of luck if you haven't got it yet. And thank you, other Sean. Appreciate it there, Dimetron. Yeah, I think I'm past the worst of it now. I just kind of got some throat crap, which makes talking kind of annoying because I kind of get hoarse easy. But all in all, I think it'll be a good night. We'll have some fun. We got Mr. Great Shot sipping on some Andalusia Striker. Okay, not familiar with that, but sounds good. Yeah, go figure. Who knows what the vaccinations are doing or not. I'm not going to sit here and speculate. But so symptoms. So it started with just like sore throat and lots of phlegm, then just kind of turned into kind of a normal cold on day 2, had slight fever, runny nose, all that kind of stuff. And then like late in day 2, day 3, day 4, like the worst body aches I've ever had. Like all my muscles felt like, you know how your muscles feel after you have like a really bad muscle spasm or cramp? Or if you've worked out a whole lot and you got lots of acids in your muscles. That's kind of what my whole body felt like for like 3 days. Just terrible, terrible body aches. It was hard to sleep. So that was honestly the worst part of it. My taste is not 100%. Like I wouldn't say that I lost my taste, but it's definitely not what it used to be. So I'm hoping I can get back to doing some whiskey reviews here soon. Hopefully the taste buds get back to 100% here soon. But I am going to put out some some list videos in the meantime. So I got like 5 disappointing bottles and then 5 bottles to not buy, in my opinion. So I got those 2 lists coming up here shortly, as well as some reviews I had shot before I got sick. So those will be coming out. But last week we talked about kind of an idea I've been kicking around for a while, and that is bourbons that could potentially beat Blanton's, or maybe a better way to word it would be like, what bourbons can Blanton's beat? Since I do have a bottle of Blanton's downstairs, and I'm thinking about putting that review out because those reviews always seem to do well, so why not? So been thinking about some bourbons that would be good contenders to go up against Blanton's. I don't think it takes a whole lot to beat Blanton's, if I'm honest. I think it's just kind of a decent kind of $50, $60 pour. I don't think it's amazing. So if you guys have some suggestions in that kind of price range, somewhere in the $40 to $60 range, or maybe, we could even throw it up against some budget ones to start just for fun. Mr. Great Shot says Andalusia Striker is a Texas single malt. So that's interesting. Okay, cool. Never heard of it, but single malts are always cool. So it sounds good. Side note, if you guys have this in your area and you like stout beers, this Kentucky Coffee Barrel Stout is pretty good stuff. Pretty readily available. Let's see, the alcohol content is on here somewhere. I know it's fairly high. It's not like crazy high. Yeah, 8%. So decent ABV there. Good stuff. So yeah, if you guys have that in your area, yeah, I think that's a good suggestion. That was one I was thinking about anyway. Oh, and we got our first bot of the night. So let's go ahead and kill them off. All right, hey. They're coming in early. Yeah, so Henry McKenna 10-year. I think that's a good suggestion. I would say those two will be fairly close. McKenna is kind of pushing that price range nowadays. Used to be cheaper, but now it's usually in the 40 to 50. So that's definitely going to be on the list. One that I thought was maybe possibly kind of similar, as far as similar to the Blanton's that I have anyway. In my Blanton's, I get a lot of orange, like orange peel, kind of creamy vanilla notes. And so one that I thought was somewhat similar to that was the Rowan's Creek. I get a lot of citrus, like sweet citrus, vanilla notes. So thinking about throwing the Rowan's Creek up against it to see how that does. Yeah, there you go. Eagle Rare. Yeah, we could do that for sure. Yeah, maybe do some Buffalo Trace against Buffalo Trace comparisons. That sounds good. I would say my Eagle Rare. Oh, the bot is back, or no, never mind. It's not. I'm looking at it wrong. Eagle Rare. Honestly, I feel like my Buffalo Trace bottle might even be able to beat that Blanton's. It'd be close for sure. It would not be a blowout by any means. So, Dimetron, Matrix, what are you guys drinking? What are you up to? What do you got going on tonight? How are the kids there, other Sean? I know usually you're throwing them in bed here fairly soon, but if you already got that done, what are you sipping on? Also, have you guys seen the latest video? Have you seen the Bourbons of the Year video? And if so, what did you think? What did you think of the list? What did you guys find this year? What were some good ones you found? Maybe some new finds this year that you really enjoyed. What has your experience been like? Also, I don't know if you guys caught that, but this is my handy dandy bottle opener here. It is a fake 50 cal bullet. It's just, I can't think of the right word, but aluminum. But nonetheless, it looks cool. And it opens bottles. So, no problem. Some other things that I mentioned earlier that we got coming up. So, disappointing bottles. I think that's always a fun subject. I'm not going to ruin the video that I got coming, but maybe that's a fun topic for tonight. Some disappointing bottles you guys have found, as well as some good bottles you found. Some disappointing ones. Well, I will ruin one. Of course, I have a long-standing contention with Jim Beam. Jim Beam is always a letdown. It's one of those bottles that I don't understand how it got so popular. I know decades ago, it was decent stuff, but nowadays, I don't get why anybody's buying it. I think it's just one of the worst budget bottles out there. I don't get it. So, yeah. All right, so let me run through some chat here. Still hanging with my son right now. Haven't poured anything yet since I got to pick up stepdaughter from work in a few. Oh, okay. Well, nice bottle. Thank you. Haven't caught your latest video yet. Been really sick the last few days. Symptoms very similar to what you were describing. Maybe it was COVID too. Oh, well, yeah. So that's the thing is my wife actually talked me into getting tested because didn't really want to go to the hospital and do all that stuff. Because at first I really felt like it was just kind of a bad cold. But that's kind of what it is, it seems like, for a lot of people. It's just kind of a bad cold. So, very possible. The Omicron is going around. It sounds like a Decepticon or something. I feel like maybe I should be able to transform into something now. Haven't noticed any new powers or abilities, but maybe those are still to come. I don't know. Anyway, what is up? Still living in the woods. How we doing, buddy? Just poured some Sagamore Spirits Double Oak Rye. Hey, all right, that I picked up yesterday. It's good if you like a heavy toasted oak flavor. Yeah, I got that just a month ago, I guess. I am enjoying it. It is MGP rye, so like same as a lot of the ones we went through recently. But I like the double oak thing that they did. I think that adds some pretty cool stuff to it. I'm thinking about doing a Rye of the Year video. It's just that I'm probably going to have to wait to get it done because I can't really accurately taste stuff. So, yeah. I can't really do blind tastings right now because my taste buds are all crapped out. Everything just kind of tastes like dull and muddied and just not, it's hard for me to pick up a lot of the notes like I used to be able to. So I hope that goes away soon. Hey, Green74, thank you for joining us, man. Appreciate it. Hope everyone is having a great weekend so far. I know I'm feeling a lot better now that I'm over this Rona thing. I hope you get to feeling better, brother. I had a very big round of it in 2020. Oh, man, you got the bad version. Yeah, as far as I know, I got the Omicron. Well, that's what the hospital is telling us. So you probably got like the Delta or one of the other sucky ones. So, yeah. Glad you're feeling better, though. Hope your body is back to 100% or close to it there, buddy. Yeah, honestly, the worst part, aside from my taste buds not being up to 100%, the worst part was honestly the body aches. The body aches were just crazy. It felt like I had done like an extreme full body workout, and it just felt like that way for 3 or 4 days. Made sleeping difficult. Everything kind of sucked for a while. Yes. I'm surprised we don't have AZ in here. Not sure what he is up to. But anyway, thank you everybody that has come out tonight. Appreciate it. I didn't have a whole lot planned tonight, and I don't plan on doing a terribly long stream because my voice will probably give out here in another 45 minutes to an hour. We'll see how it goes. I have to kind of keep drinking stuff to keep from going hoarse. Hey, Jack, what is up, man? Oh, okay. Hey, no problem. Yeah, I hope we'll keep it entertaining. Okay, so Green74 saying, I had the original strain almost killed me. Oh, man. I have what is called the long COVID. Okay, and still having health issues. But as you said, nothing that bourbon can't help. That's right, man. Honestly, all joking aside, my morning routine for a while, I actually posted it on Whiskey Wars Facebook page, was a lemon ginger tea with lots of actual lemon juice in it, as well as cinnamon, like fresh ground cinnamon, and more ginger, as well as honey. But before I would drink any of that, I would actually do a shot of whiskey to kill all the junk in my throat, and that really helped my throat feel tremendously better. I just kind of let that sit, just like if you were sipping on whiskey, and then I would drink my tea and feel quite a bit better because my throat was really craptastic there for a while. But whiskey actually did get me through it. Obviously, was not drinking heavily, just a little bit in the morning there. But it really did help. I was going high proof to just basically sanitize my throat, and that was pretty helpful, made things much easier to get through. So for anyone that has not gone through it, and if you got some high proof whiskey, obviously don't overdo it because you want to stay hydrated, but that really, especially if you got the throat thing going on, that really helped me get through it and just made it a little more tolerable. It's I think the bottom line is this is a thing now that we're all going to have to deal with. I don't see any way around it. I've been saying that basically from the beginning. I don't really care about the politics of all this. It's become so political, and I don't really care about that. It's another thing that we got to deal with. So, just take care of each other, do the best you can, try and find ways to, I'm going to say a few things, and I want to preface this by the fact that I am not your healthcare provider, doctor, etc. But here's some things. So, how your body deals with COVID is very dependent on the health of your liver, which for us drinkers kind of matters. So, these have been proven to help NAC, that's N-acetylcysteine, and then milk thistle, both good for your liver, helps your liver produce enzymes or some crap that helps your body fight off, basically just cleanses your system. Also, pump yourself full of vitamin C and D3. That really helped me a ton. I feel like that kept my symptoms from getting super severe. So I hope that those things help other people. There's other things you can do as well, but like I said, I'm not a doctor, but yes, I agree, man. It's going to be like the flu and the cold and other things. It's just going to be one of those things we got to deal with. So we got to find ways to deal with it. That's why I was saying what I just said is, find things that you can do to help yourself get through it. Because I think whether you've had it or you've not had it, eventually you're going to have it, just like we all occasionally get the flu and we all occasionally get cold. So we might as well find ways to deal with it. So especially, if you've been through it and there was things that you felt like helped you, then, share that with people, because I feel like all the government's offering us is it's like get vaccinated or nothing else helps. And I don't know how helpful it is, because that's not how we treat any other virus. That's not how we treat the flu or the cold. There's always things that people do when you have a flu or the cold to help yourself get through it. So I think we need to start sharing more of that information with one another, because, yeah, it's just relying on the government, I think, is a bad idea. So I will leave it there. Anyway, let's get back to whiskey and drinking. There you go. I mean, legit, I've seen several different things there, Mr. Great Shot, that actually drinking whiskey, especially when you're around others that may potentially have COVID, can reduce your viral load, because through your mouth is one of the main ways we take in germs. So if you're drinking whiskey, you're killing the stuff in your throat, so potentially reducing your viral load, which is helping your body, reduce the number of virus cells in your body. So why not do that? We need an old Cuban shoe medicinal COVID batch. That's right. Yeah, for sure. Just make it like the highest proof bourbon ever made, just for killing COVID. But we want lots of flavor. That's the thing. We don't want just like moonshine. We want lots of flavor in that thing. Yes. Old Cuban shoe for the win. Vitamin C, D3, zinc, magnesium, selenium, probiotics, and okay, so that last one, quercetin. I'm probably saying that wrong. I've never heard of that. Everything else on that list I took, but quercetin. Not familiar with that, but hey, good info there. Thank you, Green74. Yeah, all those other things on the list, though, I found very helpful. I was doing all that, and it seemed to keep my symptoms from getting crazy out of control. It kept it manageable, I guess I would say. I mean, I was still in bed a lot, still really tired, run down, but kept it from going crazy, I guess. So, yeah, good stuff. I was in a house for 2 weeks with 3 people that had it and didn't get it myself. Hey, that's great, man. Good for you. I've heard that story over and over again. I mean, there's several people I know, their families got it, like everybody in the house got it, and somehow they didn't get it. So it's a really weird thing. I don't really understand how it. Yeah. Oh, the dog is misbehaving. I don't really understand how this virus is working, but it's definitely odd for sure. Yeah, strange. But I know in our house, it hit both of us pretty hard. My wife actually still has it. She's still trying to get through it. So, what is everyone drinking tonight? I'm drinking New Riff Single Barrel. Cheers. Indeed. Thank you, buddy. So right now, as I said, I'm drinking this guy right here just to start off kind of light. I'm not trying to get crazy tonight because trying to still stay healthy, but Kentucky Coffee Barrel Stout, pretty good stuff. And I threw a little bit, I don't like mixing a whole lot, but a little bit of Ezra Brooks in there as well, just to kick up the ABV a little bit in this thing. And pretty good stuff. I think the Ezra Brooks mixes with it really nice. Ezra Brooks has a lot of those nice dark notes that I like with a stout. So it's usually my go-to mixer if I'm going to throw a little whiskey in a stout beer. And yeah, thank you everybody that's come out again. I appreciate it. Kind of needed this. It's been kind of a down week, just in bed a lot, sleeping way too much. So thank you everybody. But again, I'll ask, so what have been 2 questions to the group, and that is, what have been some bottles you have found this year that you absolutely are loving, kind of some new finds, some stuff you're really enjoying, And then also, what have been some bottles you have bought, not necessarily this year, but just in general, that you are really disappointed in, just haven't hit the mark, just kind of sit on the shelf and you'd wish you had never bought it. So feel free to share any of those with the group. Love to hear it. Sorry for all the clearing on my throat, guys. That's just kind of, I still got this thing going on, so I apologize. I'm sure that's not fun to listen to. But anyway, let me try and read Jack's message here. So I got me a bottle of Evan Williams single, I think you meant single barrel, vintage waiting for me at the house when I get home. Can't wait. Hey, all right, cool. Yeah, you know, some of those Evan Williams single barrels can be pretty high age stated. I got one downstairs. It's like 11 years. So yeah, don't sleep on those, guys. Those Evan Williams single barrels can have some really nice age statements and pretty good stuff. My only complaint is that the proof's a little low, but I think you still get quite a bit of flavor. I mean, you can't complain a whole lot. I mean, they're like $26, $27 in my area. So, I mean, very budget friendly, and you're getting like sometimes 10, 11 year stuff. So good finds. Yeah, for sure. Let us know once you're home. Let us know what you think about that. Hey, no problem, man. I figured it out. That's right. I forgot you're driving. So yeah, hey, the voice to text is working, my friend. So appreciate it. I worked it out. I figured out what you were trying to say there. So, well, I've just about finished off this beer. That was good. Good start. Again, while I have these on the table, I'm going to set these aside. But I feel like these are things that people maybe have not heard of as much. The N-acetylcysteine, great for your liver. NAC is the acronym. And then milk thistle, great for your liver, helps your body cleanse. And if you get COVID, I'm telling you, it'll help you out. But now, moving on to more whiskey. So we're going to start with our runner-up here. If you guys have not seen the video, here is the runner-up for this year. The Pfeiffer Pavitt XO. My stepson bought this for me. It's been a great bottle. Plus, you know, I got a human signature on the side, so that's kind of cool. This was a distillery-only release. So some background on this for those that don't know. This is Kentucky bourbon that was aged for, I think, 7 or 8 years, and then aged an additional 44 months in Cabernet Sauvignon Pfeiffer Pavitt barrels. So I know some people have problems with finished whiskeys, but I love this bottle. I really do. Of course, I like dark wines and I like bourbon. So let's get a little bit of that in there. This is kind of a special bottle because my son bought it for me. And also, it's just awesome. So this was my runner-up for the year. Came in second place, but good stuff. I mean, look at that color. I mean, honestly, that is just like dark. It looks more like a beer, like a stout beer, than it does a bourbon. It's so dark. And I mean, it's just mouth coating, tons of oily goodness, just tons of flavor in there. Sorry, I'm bragging about a bottle that's basically impossible to get because it's distillery only, but this is good stuff. If you guys ever see one on secondary at some kind of reasonable price, or really any of the Bardstown Bourbon Company's stuff, I mean, all their finishing series is just awesome. I know a lot of people have issues with finished bourbons, but Bardstown is doing some great stuff. Woodinville shot. Okay, cool. So, Mr. Great Shot, curious on that. Now, I have had some issues with Woodinville, and you're probably not going to like my upcoming video, if I'm going to be honest. Which Woodinville are you drinking? Guide me in the right direction here, because, buddy, no. because I had the regular Woodenville and I did not care for it at all. I thought it tasted like, if I'm being honest, I thought it tasted kind of like wood stain. Just lots of chemical notes, lots of really strong tannic oak. Give me 1 second. My dog's being a jerk. Sorry about that. All right, back at it here. So I'm curious what the good Woodenvilles are. I've heard that there are some store picks that are really good. I've heard that the port finish can be good, although kind of the jury's out on that because some people say, no, it's not good. So I'm curious what you're drinking. Okay, so here's my answer. See, maybe it's my bottle. I don't know. Maybe I just got a bad one. I don't know, but I did not care for it at all. I have to assume, based on so many people liking it, that I just got a bad one. Not sure exactly. Excuse me again for the throat clearing, folks. As I said, still getting over this garbage, but the Omicron, I tell you, I feel like I should be a character on, like, the early 90s Transformers show or something. We got the Omicron. It's storming like hell, right? Let's try again. It's storming like hell here right now. I keep hearing hail hitting the roof. I hope the power doesn't go out. Oh, well, that sucks. Sorry to hear that, Woods. Yeah, we just kind of got through all that nastiness here. We got 7 inches of snow here in Kentucky, and it got down to 7 degrees. So pretty chilly. The roads were a mess. Still kind of are, but mostly better. I know up north it was much worse. I know up north people really got hit hard. I know some other YouTubers and such actually lost their power completely and had to go to hotels and stuff. So that sucks. But hopefully you keep your power and you can stay with us. In the meantime, though, let's have our first sip of whiskey. Let's kill some throat germs. I feel like my taste buds cannot appreciate what that truly is, but still pretty good. Bourbons that I've recently bought that I really enjoy: New Rev, Smoke Wagon, Rebel 100, and Cask Strength. A bourbon that I dislike that people had hyped: Old Tub. Yeah, I feel like Old Tub's one of those, either that you love it or you hate it, and there's kind of no in between. Well, I say that, and then I say that to say that I'm just kind of, it's okay. Of the bottle and bonds I own, Old Tub is not my favorite. It's just kind of decent. I don't hate it. I think there's a little bit. I get a little bit too much cherry on it, and cherry is not my. It's kind of like that fake cherry note. I don't really care for that note in it. I wouldn't say that I hate it, but it's not one I go back to. I'm still on my first bottle, if that kind of tells you anything. So yeah, Old Tub, not a favorite of mine. It's just kind of, it's all right. It's a bottle of bourbon. There's worse stuff out there, I think, but I don't know. Whatever. I'm gonna try sip 2 here. See if maybe it's just because I was coming off. Actually, let's do a palate cleanse. See if that's helpful at all. I really apologize for all the throat clearing, guys. I know it's not pleasant to listen to. Let's see if we can clear that up, though. So I'm getting the stuff I remember. It's not quite as vibrant and coming through as much as I would like. It's just, like I said earlier, my taste buds are just kind of like muddied. Everything is just kind of dull, and I don't know, kind of disappointing. Oh well, um, that's as dark as some of the Balcone stuff. Yeah, that that's one thing that's kind of nice about Texas bourbon. I know a lot of people have issue with it, but I've had some really nice not Balcones, but Garrison Brothers stuff. Actually, I mean, it made the list this year. I don't think all their stuff is great, and the prices are high, but I mean, Texas, you get, even though the age statements may not be real high, excuse me, um, you're getting the effects of an older age stated bourbon much sooner because of the high temperatures. So yeah, that's kind of cool. I mean, I kind of like, like when you're comparing Scotch and bourbon from Kentucky, and then you look at bourbon from, say, Texas or somewhere down south. I think it's kind of interesting how the environment works with whiskey. You can have a 12-year-old Scotch that tastes super light, whereas a 12-year-old bourbon from Kentucky would be, pretty oaky. I wouldn't say overly oaked, but definitely pretty oaky. And then, you could have a 4, 5, 6-year-old Texas bourbon that is going to be almost as oaky as that 12-year-old Kentucky stuff. So I think it's pretty interesting how the environment affects whiskey in general. So anyway, I'm rambling. All right, I already read that. Let's keep going here. Just got it today. I'm not really impressed so far, but maybe it just needs some time to open up. Yeah, so question on the Woodinville. Are you getting any of that kind of wood stain chemically? It kind of smells like what's the chemical? What's the chemical in wood stain? It's I can never think of this, even though I've said this many times. It's hey, another bot. Let's kill them off. Anyway, are you getting any of that chemical note? I guess that's what I'm asking, because I want to know if it's just my bottle, because I feel like maybe it is. Maybe I just got a bad batch, and maybe there's good stuff out there from Woodinville. Because I hate to write Woodinville off, but man, I tell you, my bottle is bad. And I've given it to probably a dozen people now, and everyone I give it to just is like, nope, tastes like chemicals. That's awful. I mean, and the thing is like if that chemical note wasn't there, there would be some really nice notes, because there's like this nice cherry note. There's kind of a pretty good grape note. Lots of dark fruit notes coming through. It's just that with that, there's this really strong chemical presence that I do not like, and I just can't get past that. Yeah, I picked up the regular Woodinville earlier last year and didn't care for it much. I'm going to say much either. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I'm right. Maybe there is just that chemical thing that certain people get and certain people don't. Hard to say. So the bottles that I did get this year that I am pretty stoked about was Booker's Bardstown. Okay, yeah, that's a good one. And then also got a bottle of Russell's Reserve Private Select that was really awesome. Hey, awesome, man. Yeah. Now, Russell's Reserve Private Select, is that the same as the Russell's Reserve Single Barrel Store Picks, or are you meaning something else? I feel like that is actually the proper name for that, but maybe I'm wrong. Maybe the Russell's Reserve Private Select is a different thing. There's so many turkey lines that it's hard for me to say that that's the same. But if it is the same as the Russell's Reserve Single Barrel Store Picks, those things can be amazing. I got one downstairs that tastes like candied cherries with rich, like sugared cinnamon. I love that bottle. In fact, that bottle just barely did not make my whiskeys of the year this year. It finished 14th, and I felt like 13 was pushing it. So, nonetheless, I've never tried any Balcones, but Rebel has really surprised me. Yeah, I have not had a bottle of Rebel that I didn't like, honestly. I've had a pour of the 10-year. That stuff was amazing. I've had the standard Rebel 100, which is good stuff. In fact, I think that finished second or third in my weeded bourbons. Just barely lost to Weller, which everyone just raves about. Um, yeah, I mean, I think Rebel is doing some great stuff. I mean, how can you go wrong at the price point? I would say. There you go. Welcome to the group, buddy. If AZ were here, he would be so excited to hear you say that. We're all turkey fans here. Uh, Wild Turkey, it's just I say it almost every week, but Wild Turkey just is putting out some of the best stuff at that whatever the price point is. If you're talking about like 101, it's some of the best stuff in the $20 to $25 range. I know in some places guys are getting it for like 17 bucks, which is just crazy. At that price point, it would be the only thing I buy at a budget option. The rare breed is just kind of the standard for budget barrel proofs. Um, Russell's Reserve single barrel, especially the store picks, are just amazing. I mean, some of the best stuff available anywhere all the time. And I see store picks all over the place. So I don't know how you go wrong because I've never had a bad store pick. I'm on my fourth or fifth bottle of store picks now, and every single one of them is at least as good as the standard bottle, which is already phenomenal. And some of them are just amazing. So, those Russell's Reserve store picks are just some of the best stuff on the shelf. I did not like the Woodinville or the port. Okay, so see, maybe I don't know. That makes me feel better. What is up, Commandante Lou? Welcome, buddy. Glad you're with us. So for those that don't know, Charles from Fun with Whiskey, he could not join us tonight. That's my buddy over there in California, but he had some other stuff going on. I keep trying to get him to join, but he has had a crazy busy schedule here lately. So hopefully in the next week or so, he'll be back with us, but we will see. But Commandante, thank you for joining us. You just reminded me, I saw your comment on his latest video earlier, and so that made me think about it. But back to Woodinville. I wish I could like it. Like, I wish I could say, this is a great bottle of whiskey, but it just doesn't get there for me. So I don't know. I'm gonna leave it there. Yeah, there does seem to be a slight chemical note. Okay. See, that's maybe a high head cut. See, that's what I thought all along. That's always been what I get. It's like they waited too long to make their cuts. I have to assume because Woodinville is a small distillery, they're trying to get the most out of their cuts. So they're saving as much as they can. And I get, that you want to optimize the amount of whiskey you're getting out of your barrels and all that kind of stuff. But I feel like they're like you said, I think they waited too long on their cuts and they got into that kind of chemical area where it's just bad. And maybe I'm super sensitive to it. Maybe that's the problem. And maybe other people aren't. And so they're loving it. And because, like I said, there are some good notes there. It's just I can't get past that chemical note. Just poured some Woodinville, and yeah, still don't like it. It's drinkable, but not really enjoyable. Excuse me. Yeah, that's kind of how I feel about it. I mean, so spoiler, and there's not a ton of people in here, so I feel like it's fine. It's going to be on my list of bourbons to not buy. And I know that may hurt some people's feelings, but I'm sorry. At the price point it's at, because around here it's $35 to $40. And when I think about what you can get for $35 to $40 instead of that bottle, I can't recommend it ever, because that chemical note is just bad. It's just not good at all. It just turns me off from the whole experience. I mean, when you could have like a Michter's bottle, or let's see what else is in the price point. I mean, you could almost get a rare breed for the price of a Woodinville. I mean, like $5 more, and you get a rare breed. That's a no-brainer, because rare breed is phenomenal every single time. See what else? You can get Cooper's Craft. That's cheaper. Woodford Reserve is cheaper and better. Let's see. The Rowan's Creek I talked about earlier that I think could possibly take out Blanton's. I have a lot of confidence in that Rowan's Creek. I think they're similar-ish profiles. I got a lot of citrus notes going on. The Rowan's Creek is definitely better than Woodinville, and right about the same price point. I'm trying to think what else is in there. Honestly, there's some cheaper bottles I would take. I'm pretty sure I would take a Wild Turkey or an Old Forester 100 proof over those Woodinvilles. So I know that there's some store picks out there that everybody keeps raving about. I don't know, maybe they're better, but I can only go with what I got, and what I got is not great. That Woodinville, it hurts me. It hurts my soul. It makes me sad that it's bourbon. Yep. Wild Turkey is my favorite distillery for sure. They just keep killing it, man. I mean, Jimmy is a master. The guy is just the king of bourbon, in my opinion. He's been making killer bourbon for like 50 years, like longer than I've been alive. He's been making killer bourbon. I didn't find the Blue Note Uncut, but I did get the Juke joint. I avoid the Crossroads as was recommended. Okay, so what did you think of the Juke joint, Commandante Lou? Curious to hear your opinion on that. I've heard some good stuff about Blue Note and some bad stuff, so want to hear what you thought. That's right. Yeah, we went through this last week, Mr. Gracia. Yeah, Western Kentucky guy. So, hey, Kentucky boys, yes. And I love that a lot of my fans are. I hate the word fans. It sounds pretentious. We need to come with a better name. A lot of the people that tolerate my nonsense. Let's go with that. That sounds more reasonable. Anyway, I love that a lot of you guys are out west, because the West is kind of like God's country to me. It's just, I don't know. I love westerns. I love the vibe out there. I love the cowboy atmosphere. I mean, that's why let's try talking again. It's why I wear the hat. It's just, man, just good stuff out there. It's like where men are still men. I feel like the politics haven't quite hit there as hard yet. It's just good stuff. Oh, Commandante, did you leave us? Sorry about that, buddy. I'm just getting there. Sugar Kitty, what is up, buddy? Acetone. That is the thing I was thinking of. Thank you, Sugar Kitty. Yes. Woodinville and Driftless Glen can both have an acetone, bit of an acetone to me. That may be kind of chemical to some. I agree. It's very chemical to me. It's just, I can't get past it, but that is the thing. It's kind of like that nail polish, whatever. All right, so Green 74. I am in south, kind of central Kentucky, Wayne County, if you want to be specific. We're in a kind of nowheresville. There's like 22,000 people in the whole county here, and it's dropping every year. But I'm happy to live in the middle of nowhere. I love it here. I would never live anywhere else. I think it's fantastic here. I like that I can go to my local stores and find kind of reasonably allocated stuff at decent prices. Granted, you're not going to find the big boys here. You're not going to find the BTACs or any of that kind of stuff. But I mean, FAE-02, which finished fifth in my bourbons of the year, I can still buy that for $60 basically at any store around here. So that's nice to have those kind of things just sitting on the shelf. Blue Note Juke Joint, that's the one I was telling you about. The BP one, right? BP. Barrel proof? Probably, yes. Yes, DFW. If you like a really strong European oak flavor, you might want to try Crossroads, but it was too much for me. I think I might. I'm going to have to give that a try. So unfiltered 93 proof. Okay. So, I mean, that's cool. I would be happy to try that. Uncut, unfiltered kind of stuff. 93 proof. That's, that's right around. I mean, that's exactly, of course, not the double barrel thing, but that's exactly the 1910 proof. So I think that's when whiskey kind of starts waking up and getting interesting, is right around 90, 95 proof. That's kind of where I start getting interested in whiskey. So happy to see Jefferson's Ocean was under 70. Hello. So now everything is a good, yeah. Oh, well, maybe Woodville may be a good in it. You know, here's the thing is like, if that chemical note came through, even in a mixed drink, I feel like it would ruin it. Which is sad because I think there's a lot of good notes in it. Like I think Woodville would make a killer old fashioned if it were not for the chemical notes. They could just get rid of whatever that is, that kind of acetone chemical note, then I mean, I think it has the right profile for a great old fashioned, especially since it's kind of budget friendly. I mean, because it got a lot of the dark fruits that I think would go good with the cherry and the bitters. But man, that chemical note just kills it for me. So lower proof version, what'd you think? Yeah, exactly. We're waiting with bated breath here. What'd you think, Commandante? How is the Cooper's Craft 100? Because I've been looking for it and can't find it, but that's a bottle I want this year. Yeah, so the Cooper's Craft 100 is awesome. Now, I know I'm calling it really early here because we have 25 bourbons to go through when we get to our kind of March Madness thing. So for those that don't know, the March Madness thing will be bottles between $25 and $40. And we got 25 bottles to go through. It's going to be a lot of blind tastings. I hope that my palate is back up and running by then. But I feel like Cooper's Craft is probably going to be in the finals because I love that bottle. Actually, just the other night I did, granted, taste buds not 100%, but I did Cooper's Craft 100. I did Woodford Reserve. I did Maker's 101. I did, what else was in there? Evan Williams Single Barrel. And I had a fifth one, I'm trying to think. What was the fifth? Oh, yeah, Buffalo Trace. And Cooper's won it, in my opinion. And those were blind. So I think Cooper's Craft 100 proof is a killer bottle. I know a lot of the people are talking about it right now, but I still don't think it's getting enough love. I mean, it's like $30, and that bottle is amazing, especially if you like the Old Forester Brown-Forman profile. I know Woods, I know you don't really like the banana note, but if you like the Old Forester kind of Woodford profile, the Cooper's Craft 100 proof is an amazing bottle. Just finished my glass of New Riff. Which bottle should I open up next? Maker's 46 Cask Strength or Four Roses Small Batch Select? My money is on Maker's Mark 46 Cask Strength. If you guys, again, if you saw my bourbons of the year. I think that bottle finished 10th overall of all the whiskeys I have. I love that bottle. I think it's fantastic. I love me some Maker's Mark 46 cask strength. I mean, honestly, I'm not a Maker's Mark fan like the standard makers, but I love the 46, and the 46 cask strength, I think, is one of the best things on the shelf. Like, honestly, that and the Russell single barrel picks, especially, like, I go back and forth between those to what is my favorite on the shelf available thing. Those bottlers, let's try again. Those bottles are just killer. Love both of them so much. I like the Blue Note Juke Joint. It's smooth and drinkable. Okay. Well, Commandante, I know I'm putting on you on the spot here, but what are you getting? What kind of flavors are you getting out of that? Oh, hey, okay. My first mead today. I've only tried mead one time. Liked it okay. It was kind of a local thing, so I'm curious to try more. We may have to. Actually, I'm just gonna go ahead and do this. I need to remember my thing. Somm of bourbon. Is that the thing? At gmail.com. All right, so guys, I'm going to throw this up. I will double check it here in a second. But I would love to be able to communicate with you guys more. Let me run into YouTube here and double check my email. I know that seems like a weird way to do it. I'm sorry I'm not looking at the screen right now, although I never really have been, if we're being fair. Your channel. Let's see here. I need to verify. Yes. Okay. Sorry for the delay here, folks, but I want to make sure I got the email up right. If you guys want to message me, I will do my best to check it. So let's get back to my main screen here. So let me verify I put that in right. Yes, so Somm of a Bourbon at Gmail. That is my email for Whiskey Wars. If you guys want to email me, and the main reason I'm putting that up is to exchange bottles. I know that's frowned upon by the U.S. government, but who cares? So if I have something you would like to try, or if you have something I would like to try, I love exchanging stuff. I think it's a nice way for us to send samples to one another so that we can try things that maybe we couldn't get otherwise. It doesn't cost that much, for $10, $15, maybe $20 if you're really far. You can send a sample, and then you get to try something you've never had or maybe will never see. So if that's something you would like to do, please email me at that email. I will definitely check it probably tomorrow or whenever. And then we can get stuff that we wouldn't get otherwise. Me and Fun with Whiskey, we've done that a lot. I've gotten a lot of samples from him. He's got a lot of samples from me. We've gotten some good stuff. And I love doing that because sending sample files for the mail, not that bad. You just have to lie to the government a little bit. But, who cares? Oh, hey, there we go. Palate kind of waked up a little bit on that one. I kind of got the full body on that sip. Oh, man, that is good. Maybe I just have to burn off all the crap that's on my tongue or whatever. Nail polish, or some people have said varnish. Yeah, see, that's kind of more like what I get there, Sugar Kitty, on the Woodinville. It's like the outside of the barrel got inside. Something like that. Yeah. Let's see here. Let me run through chat. I'm kind of behind. Agreed. Sugar Kitty, thanks for the insight. I just wasn't able to make the connection to acetone. Yeah. Cheers, Commandante Lou. Let me run through a little more here. I poured out the Woodinville I had left in my glass and switched it to a smell. That's more like it. Yeah. So that's another one I need to pick up there, Woods. I really loved your suggestion for the Rowan's Creek. I hope that Noah's Mill is up to snuff. I have to say, the Willet Pot Still, which is same distillery, all three of these, is not my thing. So I hope that Noah's Mill is nothing like that because I don't like the pot still. It makes me sad. It makes me sad that something so disappointing can be in such an amazing bottle. Yep, it hurts my soul. Anyway, she is at Noah's Mill, and yes, definitely add it. I need to as well. I think Cooper's Craft 100 Proof is a hidden gem every time. So I am in my local package store. I recommend it to everyone looking for a new bourbon. Me as well, man. That's in fact, just 2 weeks ago, I met some people, which is a weird thing for me because I have a really small channel. But there was a guy in Liquor Barn, which is a pretty big outlet store here in Southern Kentucky. It was actually up in Lexington, but there was a guy that recognized me, which is the first time that's ever happened. He's like, "Do I know you?" And I was like, I don't know, maybe. He's like, "You're like a whiskey guy, right?" And I was like, yeah, I suppose. Maybe, sort of, kind of. And so he was asking me, he's like, "So what do you recommend? I'm looking for a new bourbon." And that was exactly what I recommended. Cooper's Craft 100 Proof. And then he said he wasn't up for the 100 proof. So the next thing I suggested was Maker's Mark 46, which is another one I think is absolutely great. But it was kind of weird to be recognized. I think, I don't know, it's an oddity to me. Nonetheless, a pound of mine, rinsed the Glen, and poured some Redbreast 12. Hey, there we go. Just opened and poured the 46 cask, liking the nose so far. Cheers. Hey, great, man. I guess it's time to order some little bottles. Hey, there we go, Woods. I'm sure you got some good stuff too. But I really would like to try Commandante Lou's mead, but I'm sure, Woods, you got some great stuff as well. Really anybody that's up for it. I mean, you can pretty well see my collection on any of my videos. So, instead of listening to me talk, just pay attention to the bottles that are around me. And if you see something that you really want to have, except for, I have to make one exception, and that is the Blanton's. And the only reason I say that is because it's hard for me to find at retail, and I refuse to pay more than retail for it because I don't like it that much. And I need it for some upcoming videos that we talked about earlier. Blanton's beat, whatever. So I don't want to give away my Blanton's because I don't have that much left, and I need it for a few videos. So aside from that, I will basically give you guys anything else I see if you're willing to part ways with something you have. I like doing 2-ounce samples, even though I have 4-ounce bottles, just because I feel like 2 ounces is enough to try it, and so you know what it is, but not so much that it's like hurting you, especially if it's a bottle that you don't necessarily want to get rid of a whole lot of it. Got a few samples of olive oil you might like. Yeah, I got plenty of that. I can find that pretty readily. Mainly looking for whiskey, but olive oil is good too. I mean, if you have some really high-end, handcrafted old Cuban shoe olive oil, then maybe we could talk. I want to get a survey from everyone here on what they would drink to celebrate a goose hunt. We can't do, well, I don't even wild turkey because I did wild turkey the last time. Okay. Well, goose hunt. Um, I tell you, what is it? Goose Island or whatever it is. My man Charles reviewed here recently. Some of those uh, beers that are aged in different barrels. That is some good stuff. Um, Aside from that, a good goose hunt. I feel like you need like a barrel-ish proof kind of bourbon for that. Something with a little bit of punch. I'm going to say either some Russell's Reserve, excuse me, either some Russell's Reserve single barrel, uh, or if you can get it, some store picks. And if you can't, man, and if you can't get those, then I would say some Old Forester 1920. Both of those got a little bit of punch, tons of flavor, just some great stuff. Or actually, before I think pass it by, Maker's Mark 46 cast strength, like Green 74 is drinking there. Yeah, any of those killer bottles. Yeah, please keep the email. Uh, I like the Noah's Mill, but thought the Orange Creek was just okay. Yeah, I really liked the. I kind of got this like orange creamsicle note that I thought was kind of interesting. It's very different. I will give you that. Green 74. It's not your typical bourbon, but I thought that's kind of what I liked about it. Is it was a little bit different, some kind of new notes that I hadn't had before. So thank you, Woods, for the suggestion. Amazon, yeah, same here. Woods. I think I got 24 bottles for like $25. So basically $1 a bottle. So not too bad. And I got the 4-ounce bottles. I think you can do better if you get 2-ounce bottles. I was sending 4 ounces to Charles and some other folks. But if you get the 2-ounce bottles, I believe they are cheaper. Noah's Mill is basically the Rowan's Creek, but okay. So that sounds interesting. Okay, well, I think I read that already somehow. I would drink one of my favorite beverages and enjoy the bounty I was gifted by a friend who hunts. Yeah, why not? Pony power. Yeah, sort of. Um, Goose Island bourbon barrel stouts. That's the thing I was thinking of. Thank you, Commandante Lou. Yes, that seems like the thing to drink if you're going on a goose hunt. Seems pretty fitting. I have to say, though, those bottles can be crazy expensive. There was a Goose Island bottle, a single bottle that was $60 at a local store here in Kentucky. So I don't know if any single beer bottle is worth $60. That's kind of whiskey territory for me. So I don't know. I found that I am partial to higher proof 100 to 120 unless the lower proof is flavorful. I agree. Yeah, there are some lower proof stuff that is pretty flavorful, but it's kind of few and far between. So I would have to agree. Green 74. Guys, I hate to break up the stream, but I need to hit the bathroom. We're an hour and 10 minutes in, so I will be right back. Talk amongst yourselves. Okay, what do I miss? Got to take off early night tonight. Okay. Sorry, I hope I didn't miss you there, buddy. Yeah, I hope you get to feeling better. I hope you don't have the Rona. And if you do, I hope you recover quickly. JFC, $60 is too much. They're under 25 here. Uh-huh. Well, that's good to know. Yes, peace out, Diamatron. Have a safe and blessed night. Yes, for sure. Sorry again, guys. Let me get bourbon of the year poured here. Again, guys, I apologize. I know that this is a bottle that was very hard to find. I mean, when I put up the review, that was like the #1 comment is how hard this was to find. And to be honest, it was hard to find for me. This is the Larceny B521. Actually, let me rinse this out so I can give it proper tasting here. I mean, I found this on my trip to Florida. We stopped in Macon, Georgia, and I just found a spot that I knew just looked like a spot that would have bourbons. I looked at the reviews on Yelp. We had stopped in there for some food as well and saw this spot. And I was like, that's the spot. They sold cigars and bourbon. I was like, that's got to be a good spot for bourbon. And sure enough, found this guy they had $90 on it. And I was like, you know what? Hey, we got to talking to the owner, talked to him for a while. And then hey, not too bad of a long pour there. All right. Not really long-ish. Got talking to the owner, though, and he was a bourbon fan as well. Talked for a while, talked about stuff he'd been finding, stuff I'd been finding. And I was like, you know what? I want that bottle, but I got $80. That's all I got. And he took it, and so I got the bottle. But I realized it's hard to find. So anyway, here it is in my dirty-ish glass now. But nonetheless, a very good bourbon. Back to the comments, though. I wish I knew about the Blue Note juke joint earlier. Lady at liquor store wanted something that I didn't burn, and this would have been perfect. Okay. She was a Four Roses girl. Ah, gotcha. Yeah. Yeah, I'm not a Four Roses fan, gotta say. I haven't had one yet that I really liked. I wouldn't say they're bad, just I don't know, not my thing. Too much sour oak. It's like all the sour notes that I don't like in bourbon. I guess that's just kind of where I'm at on it. I had an opportunity to pick up the very first batch of Larceny BP, but passed on it and have never seen another one since. So, gotta say, Woods, that's probably a good choice because I have the A121 and don't really like. I mean, well, that's not true. It finished 9th in my bourbons of the year, but when you consider it's a $70 bottle, and it's only $70 if you can find it at MSRP, and it just barely beat a Shelfer, which is the Maker's Mark 46 cast strength, which is like 55, 60. I don't know that it's worth. I mean, because sometimes I've seen those bottles for over 100. So the B521 I think is worth the money, but the others I've had, because I've had the A121 and I had the C920, and I think the C920 was better than A121, but not drastically. But this guy, the Larceny Barrel Proof B521, oh, it's so good. Like, yeah, So that's how I've been having to do blinds here lately. Is I just rely on my sense of smell because that hasn't really gone away. So I smell it a lot, and then I try and smell it as I taste it. Actually, not even really necessary on that one. Man, that's just good. Oh, tons of cinnamon and got lots of chocolate, almost like a Coca-Cola note, um, like a dark cherry, some like roasted dates. Oh, so good. Tons of like rich caramel as well. It's very mouth coating. Good stuff. So Larceny today at Total Wine, I think for 38. Is that just the standard Larceny? Because that seems high. If it's just the standard Larceny, because standard Larceny around here is more like 25, maybe 28. But I mean, still not a bad bottle. It's not the barrel proofs, but if I recall, that won my wheated bourbon whiskey war blind tasting. Yeah, that was my favorite of the wheated kind of budget options. So I think it's worth a pickup for sure. But you know, different for sure than the barrel proofs. Okay, on the 46 cask. Excuse me again. I'm getting notes of vanilla. There is some spice in there, maybe cinnamon. I would agree. Baking spices, very smooth. Yeah, that would be my takeaway as well. I think it's one of the most balanced kind of barrel. Well, I mean, it is barrel proof bourbons that you're going to find out there. It's there's nothing about it that's spiky or sharp or harsh. I think Maker's Mark has just done a great job with their wood finish series, and that is kind of part of it. Um, just really good stuff, and at a reasonable price. I mean, I can find those for $55 around here. And as you said, nice vanilla notes, nice kind of spice and cinnamon, big spices, and smooth indeed. I've been on the lookout for making for 46 cask and haven't spotted it yet. Yeah, that's definitely a pickup for me for sure. Um, especially if you've never tried it, and especially if you like the Maker's 46 regular. If you like that, Maker's 46 is just all those flavors amped up to like 11. Um, it's just it's a killer bourbon that's on the shelf all the time. And I tell you, there's a lot of stuff that comes out every year that just barely competes. I mean, the annual releases from a lot of places just barely compete with the Maker's 46. Yeah, I would say I get a little cherry note in the Makers, really in most Makers, but Makers 46. It's a little bit darker cherry. I think Makers, standard Makers, is a little bit brighter, a little bit more like really sweet, almost like artificial cherry, which I don't really like. But the 46 line is more of a dark cherry to me, and especially the cast strength is just good stuff, and lots of like nice toasted oak notes, nice dark brown sugars, kind of like the toasted top of a creme brulee, kind of that burnt sugars on top. Um, yeah, good stuff. Yeah, I'm glad you're liking it, man. Um, Guys, I hate to cut out early on you, but my throat is just about done. Hopefully next week I can run a full stream, go a couple hours, but I'm just about an hour and a half, and that's about all the talking I can manage. The whiskey has definitely helped, but yeah, still feeling it in the throat. It's just very starting to get hoarse and having to clear my throat too often. So, Guys, thank you for showing up. I know it wasn't a super eventful stream, and I know we didn't go super long, but thank you everybody for showing up. Green 74, always good to see new faces. Appreciate it so much. Thank you, buddy. Appreciate that as well. Get to feeling better soon, brother. Take care of yourself. Same to you, and same to anybody else out there that's getting sick, or hopefully you stay healthy. Appreciate that. Okay, peace out. Thank you. Get some rest, Sean. Thank you, guys, everybody. Thanks for all the love. Appreciate it. And we will see you guys next week. I will probably stay on the Saturday schedule. And yeah, we'll see you then. Good night, everybody. Appreciate it. Yeah, actually, as Mr. One last thing, hit that like button. I appreciate that. Thank you, buddy. And whiskey cures all. All right, guys, I'm signing out.